Hey friends, welcome back to another video. It's good to see you here. Today, got something pretty cool, pretty interesting. Something that really came to me out of the blue. And I just thought, all right, I'm gonna build it. Let's see what happens. So here it is. This is the Dungeon Prison. This came to me out of the blue, like I said, and I thought, you know, this is gonna be a pretty simple project, which actually turned out to be quite interesting. So, first things first, we can remove the bottom here. I got a few things here. I got a pile of rubble which came from the broken roof. Now that was interesting. I decided to go with a broken roof because nearing the end of the roof, realized I didn't have enough bricks cut. So this was a perfect opportunity to roll with the punches and a destroyed caved-in roof. So got a bench, got a straw bed. This is a pretty simple foundation, but this can be used for gaming. This can be used for just a diorama setup. It can be used for a lot of things. So on the inside here, we've got some lighting and we've got some chains on the wall. I think this turned out pretty good, guys. So why don't we go to the video and I'll show you how I did it. All right, friends, so here's what I did. I pulled out the old hot wire cutter and I started to cut strips of this white, really dense foam actually. This isn't your normal white foam. It's really dense. So I cut a whole bunch of strips of these and this was to be the brickwork. So after I cut up a whole bunch of these strips, I turned it around and then just started cutting away at those strips, getting a whole bunch of blocks there for bricks. Put it into a big can with some rocks and tumbled it around just to give that a little bit more of a weathered look for the bricks. So after I did that, simply all I did was take some hot glue and just start putting those bricks together. I made the first course of the prison there and then I just started adding more bricks on top, stacked them, kept on going. And eventually it turned out to be a wall. And there you go. So this was, as you can tell, is pretty simple thus far. Just added some bricks, glued them up, and that was pretty much it. So then I started on the roof and I started putting these bricks the opposite way. And so after I put that first course on, I flipped it upside down and then I was able to use the table as a base for the roof. And as you remember, I ran out of bricks. I thought I had enough, but I ran out of bricks. So then I just decided I'm going to have a hole in the top of the prison there. And that turned out pretty good, actually. It looks pretty cool. So then just started painting it with a little bit of gray paint and Mod Podge just to get that nice and sturdy. Hey everybody, if you're enjoying this video, please do me a favor. Hit the like and subscribe button. It would mean the world to me. Let's go back to the video. So then I went on to cutting some balsa wood, and this is going to be for the framing of the actual, the jail, the prison bars. So these were gonna be the framing. Just cut them up, painted them up, and once they were all done and painted, I glued them into the structure itself. So while those were drying, I took some different colors of paint and just smudged it on all the walls. And then after that was dried, I used some black wash to mute those colors that I put on there and also to give a little bit more depth to the brickwork. And as you can see, that color shows through, but it really is dulled after putting the black wash on. So once that was all dried, then I took just some white paint and did a dry brush over the whole thing. There was enough color variation that I didn't really need to do a gray dry brush and then a white one, so I just went with just the white. And so here I am. You can't see it, but I'm actually gluing in all the bars for the prison cell, and there you can see that. And that was just some dowel painted black, and then I used some silver paint. I also used some powders, some mica powders, just to give that a really interesting look. Also some rust on those bars as well. So here, I tore apart some old street lights from the dollar store. Basically, it was just, I took them apart because I needed the lights, but there was one piece out of the whole thing that actually would work well for basically wall torches, wall sconces. So I wired up the prison there. I cut some holes and I put the lights through, and then I went about, as you can see here, putting some hot glue onto this nonstick pad. And what that was going to do for me is, as I pulled off that hot glue, I'm gonna turn it and then glue it together, and that's gonna be a flame. So basically just a jagged glue on that pad, and then let it dry, cut it to where I want it, spiral it, glue it into the sconce, and it looks like flame. So now when the light hits it, it's going to light up all that glue. It looks really cool. It's a great way to do these torches or any kind of fire, really. So then after it was all ready to go and all that was glued on and put in, I used mica powders just to give the glue some different coloring, some red and yellow, a little bit of rust color, to give that just the look of more realistic flame. So then I just started gluing the remaining bricks that I did have. I ripped them up, made them look like they were crumbled, and just glued them into a pile on the base there of the prison. And that's just going to make it look like, you know, those bricks fell from the roof and they landed there and they stayed there. Not like any prisoner is going to move them. So then I used some just normal twine, and I pulled that all apart, and I made basically what's going to look like a bed of hay, a bed that a prisoner could sleep on. You know, not your high-class mattress, but some bedding nonetheless. So after that was all dry, I went back and I used mica powders to just touch up everything in the whole prison. So there's the video, guys. I hope you enjoy it. We'll see you again soon.